Hey guys, welcome to Double Shot of Pirates. I'm Dejan Kovacevic. He's Chris Halleck. We're from DK Pittsburgh Sports. Your baseball club is in Bradenton right now. It's a 1-1 tie with the Rays. And it's just another Tuesday down there, even though it's Monday.
That's a running joke, by the way. For
every spring training fold everywhere.
Yeah.
The days all blend together. Nobody remembers who's who, what's their name, everything else, except for Connor Griffin.
Yeah.
3 hits this spring. They've all cleared a fence.
That's what he does, apparently. I don't know what else this spring is just, it's so interesting because you can look at like what a Jared Jones has done in previous springs and what other young guys have done to, earn their way onto a roster spot or really, but this is, like I said, this is different. We've been talking about this. This is a different situation with Connor Griffin. He's the #1 prospect in all of baseball. This is a decision, whatever decision you make, you can't mess it up. You really can't. No, I'm saying like you don't want to.
I don't fear the backward step the way a lot of baseball people do. They feel like you get this a lot. Oh, the guy makes it up, and everybody goes through the big ballyhoo and yay, first this, parents in the crowd, first hit, and all that other stuff. And then you go through some monstrous slump and you get sent back, and it's seen as the end of the world, like you totally blew it. I don't know why. I really don't. It's just, look, we just want you to go down, get yourself together. It happened with, I don't mean to compare Griffin to Jack Sawinski, but Jack was elevated right from AA. Okay, Jack, and then he hits 26 home runs, and you're thinking, woo,
Yeah.
Jack had to go back.
Yeah.
It happens. It happens to, I was going to say better prospects than Griffin. There aren't better prospects than Griffin.
Very, very few in the history of the game.
No, it's tough to, certainly not from a visibility standpoint because of the futures game and all that other stuff. Everything else. Also, today, Mike Clevenger opened up the game. And open is the operative term here as opposed to starting because he's going to be a bullpen guy.
Yep.
3 scoreless innings, 1 hit, 2 walks. He struck out 3. Carmen Wojcinski came in after him, which I think is telling, although Don Kelly rejected this notion when it came up with him, because I don't think they have any design whatsoever on Wojcinski starting anymore. When you see the splits between his starting and his pen, 2 1/3 innings, 1 run, 2 hits, a couple of walks, 2 strikeouts. That's not exciting. 47 pitches, 28 strikes. That's not what you want, whether you're starting or relieving. So that's a little bit disappointing from a hitting standpoint. Everybody's favorite, Jake Mangum, who actually is, by the way, exactly that personable and funny. 2 for 3 against the Rays today, out of the leadoff spot. He's going to be one of those people, Mangum, who every time somebody slumps, it's going to be get Mangum in there.
Yeah.
Why isn't Mangum playing?
Well, there's a certain floor with that type of a hitter. Is he going to put the ball over the fence quite a bit? No. But man, sometimes when you need a pick me up, you just need to get on base. Somebody to get on base. Somebody can slap a single.
Spray it somewhere, man.
Yeah, somebody can slap a single out in the left field and just get to first base, get a base runner, get something going, and yeah, there's still a place in the game for somebody like that. There really is.
Yeah, just put it somewhere in the grass and run like hell.
Yeah. Yeah. And he can run.
Nothing else to it. He can make things happen.
Yeah.
In general. The Pirates are not going to be playing a regular Grapefruit League game tomorrow. They're going to be playing against Team Columbia from the World Baseball Classic. That's happened in years past. Those teams need somebody to play. So they end up finding their way squirting around the various Florida and Arizona complexes. And with the World Baseball Classic really imminent, more than anything else here, you're going to start seeing a lot of guys like Paul Skeens is now in the U.S. fold. And I don't know, man. I got nothing to say about the World Baseball Classic.
Yeah, I mean,
I'm not going to manufacture pretending.
I'm not either. It's not like as excited as I was about the Olympics and watching the men's and women's hockey teams.
This ain't that.
This is not that. If these guys are ever representing their countries in the summer games, that's a little different to me. Significantly different to me.
And there's been discussion to that effect.
Yeah.
In 2028, that Rob Manfred would like to see it happen. They'd obviously have to shut down the game in August and just let it fly for 2-3 weeks. I mean, you probably limit the number of countries, or you have a pre-tournament or something like that, like hockey does.
Yeah.
To make sure that you only have like X number. You don't want to
shut the game down for an entire month.
Yeah, you can't. You can't have some protracted tournament.
Mm-hmm.
You know what we can talk about today? ABS. Let's do that.
Ooh, I like this topic.
This poor umpire. You know who I'm talking about.
In the game against Boston.
My God. This poor SOB had 5 straight ABS calls against him. Do you know what ABS stands for, first off? Good. It's automated balls and strikes. And it's not anything of the kind, by the way. The way the system works isn't automated. In fact, they want it to be the polar opposite of automated. And by that, it means this. There's 3 people who can call for an appeal. It's the pitcher, the batter, the one who I think would be by far the best qualified,
the catcher. Yeah.
Okay. Now, if I'm the pitcher, I'm sorry, I'm too emotionally tied.
Yes, I would agree with that. I would agree with that.
I know what was in my head, and I know what I wanted that pitch to do. And I really wish that it had done that thing.
Yeah.
But the catcher is different. Catcher's ice cold back there. The catcher's always got to be impartial with his pitcher. Always got to be honest with him. Catcher, I'm all right with that.
Yeah.
But it's going to change umpiring, man.
I think it already has.
I'll bet.
I think it already has. The one thing that I was hoping, listen, I really, really like, I like ABS. I am pro ABS. I still remember certain pitches that I've seen over the course of the game. Like when Joe Nathan got, I think he was like 300th save or something like that. I don't remember what it was. What it was a milestone save. And he struck out Ben Zobrist to get it. And the ball was not even like in the same ballpark. It was outside, it was low, it wasn't close to
and
the
that's
strike
on his
zone.
Video highlight for his entire career.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And it's just like moments like that. Now, do I want this defining the smallest fraction of an inch on the edges of the zone? No, I don't. But what I do want is to limit mistakes like that happening, or when the entire ball is square in the middle of the plate, and for whatever reason, the umpire, because the catcher's set up in a certain spot, whatever, the umpire just misses it. And it's like, okay, you just do a quick tap on the head. Okay, agree, just miss, you move on. Okay. That's what I want it to do. I have a feeling, though, as instant replay has done in not only this sport, but even other sports, that it's going to further complicate it, and that's what I'm hoping doesn't happen.
Yeah, but the weird thing about this, though, is it's not going to complicate it in a way that would lean you in one direction or the other. And that's part of what's strange about it. Like when the NHL put the offside enforcement in, what you saw was the linesman would just call everything offside.
Yeah.
Because they didn't want to be wrong. This way, go ahead and check it, whatever else here. But with this, that dude was wrong in both directions, that umpire, 5 times.
Yeah.
It was either a ball or a strike, and he had it wrong. I would imagine that if there's an impact on umps, it's going to be that they are just lasered and that they get rid of the concept of their own strike zone. Oh, he's got a big strike zone, or he's got this, or he's got that. Well, there's a female umpire in baseball now too, so we can say he or she has. But it's not something I think that's gonna. It's just gonna separate the good ones from the bad ones, Chris. Let's be real here.
It is.
You're not entitled to creating your own strike zone. I don't care if
anymore. Nope.
some legend who's been in the game for 1,000 years. You
Yep.
still don't get your own strike zone.
Nope, not anymore. Not anymore. Now, of course, what's the penalty? Well, first off, what's the penalty for being wrong on a challenge?
What do you mean by the penalty? To the umpire?
No, to just like if a
Just
pitcher
shoot him out back.
if a pitcher throws something and it's out of the strike zone, but the catcher is convinced that it was in the strike zone, and the catcher challenges and it wasn't, and it's a ball.
I don't think it's a penalty. I think there's just a limited number. So don't blow it.
Okay. Okay. So you still have to be frugal with.
You keep it if you win it,
right?
but you lose it if you don't. So
Right.
you better not.
Right. So don't mess it up.
You'd better be sharp.
Dang sure.
Actually,
Yeah.
sharp is probably the operative term here.
Mm-hmm.
Everybody needs to be sharp with this.
Everybody.
This can't just be geez, you missed this one. Okay, throw it back.
Yeah. Yep.
Because nobody's going to want that on their. Don't forget, it's baseball. Statistics for everything. There's going to be a scorecard of these umps and how they perform on the ABS system that's going to be making every rounds on every social media platform.
Oh yeah. Oh,
It'll be everywhere. It'll be part of every broadcast. Oh, here's everybody, and behind home plate tonight is the worst umpire in baseball.
I mean, I'm thinking of the ump scorecards on the social media that pop up, for like every game. That's going to be fun to see how even those evolve. And yeah, the main thing that I want from it is to fix the egregious calls. And I think it will for the most part. But what I don't want to see is umpires get more lazy.
I don't think I see what you're saying, but
Yeah.
I don't think they can in this case.
I don't think they
because
can
if you
either.
grade badly, you're going to be out.
Yeah.
And this is going to be they have their own grading systems, and they've had them for some time.
Mhm.
This is different.
Yeah.
This is public. You're not going to get away with an Angel Hernandez again. You're just not. I don't think you're going to get away with a CB Bucknor.
Yeah. No, I know.
Never mind Eric Gregg. Those of you mentioning Eric Gregg go way back. Eric Gregg's strike zone was 4 miles wide but only for the Atlanta Braves, guys.
Umpires are fun, man. They're like with the personalities, and like, how is this going to affect arguments? How is this going to affect? We're not going to see as many arguments over called balls and strikes. Again, you won't.
There's no arguments.
Well, what if a team runs out of challenges and then the umpire?
Too bad.
Yeah.
You blew it.
Yeah.
That's on you.
Yeah.
No, I really think if you look now, when you see there's a safe out controversy, nobody argues it anymore. They look at the dugout. They don't even look at the umpire.
Mm-hmm.
They don't say, "Oh man, you really blew this. What are you doing?" They just go straight to the dugout.
Mm-hmm.
Dugout comes out, home plate umpire, whatever else. That guy's just standing out there folding his arms.
Mm-hmm.
And then from there, if you argue a challenge,
yeah, you're out.
Instant ejection.
Yeah.
You're not allowed to do it. You're wasting everybody's time.
Yeah.
So the days of, remember Kutch doing the stare down with the ump in 2025?
Yes.
Where he just did this
Yeah.
on the dugout railing, looking at, I don't remember who that was. It was on the road somewhere. Just staring at him the whole time. Might have been Cincinnati. And wouldn't take his eyes off him for like 2 straight innings. Like this. Well, I think that's over. I think that's over.
I hope so.
And what's really left for arguments in baseball? You know what it's going to be? The stuff that used to weird Derek Shelton out when he was managing the Pirates. He felt the other team was being given some sort of advantage as it related to the clock. The clock would freak him out for some reason. Like you couldn't get a rise out of him on anything. But when it came to the pitch clock, because the Pirates had people who were just doing nothing other than watching the pitch clock and seeing who violated it. And he'd be barking from the dugout. And then the other team would get the benefit of the doubt on something and he would just lose it. That might be it. It's not safe out. It's not fair foul. It's not ball strike.
Yeah.
It's going to be rare.
It is. The game is definitely going to change for sure. And whether it changes, obviously, anytime there's a change, I think like when the pitch clock was implemented, there was a lot of fear that it was going to drastically alter the game, that it was going to speed it up too much. And I think overall we've seen it change for the better. You're not having these 4-hour slogs that just drag on and on
I'm
and
not just
on
saying
and
that from a
on.
reporter's perspective,
No,
but from a reporter's perspective, it's gold,
Oh,
man.
gosh.
Faster games.
Yeah, it really is. But just the game feels like it's moving at a good pace. This in particular, again, if I feel like if the biggest change is the egregious calls are removed and it doesn't start becoming a huge controversy,
Mhm.
I think it's going to be good for the
Well,
game.
here's another way that the game might change. Just throwing this out there. If you're a general manager like Ben Cherington,
Mm-hmm.
and he's very much a fit for this category, who prioritizes defense behind the plate versus offense, and he can't make that any more obvious than he has over 6 years. He just brings in a bunch of 120 guys who can catch.
Mm-hmm.
That might become more of a thing around baseball because you can't have some slugger back there who can't frame, who can't catch, who can't hold the ball still, who can't, I don't know, even if that stuff, or let me rephrase that, who can't make the right calls on ABS.
Mm-hmm. Seriously.
The pitcher doesn't want to be doing that. I tell you that right now.
Yeah.
The pitcher does not want to be worried about that.
Mm-hmm.
You want your catcher taking care of that. The ball is right there. When it's passing through the zone or not, it's a foot away. He's got to have a feel for that. If he doesn't, the pitchers aren't going to want to throw to him. They
No,
won't
true.
talk about it publicly
No,
for
true.
sure. But they're going to say, hey,
Yeah.
come on, man. Can I get Joe to catch instead of John, please?
That's a whole nother dynamic in this too, because there's been so much emphasis on catchers who are elite pitch framers and how often they can steal strikes. Well, how much is this going to happen? now?
Pitch framing, I think, is still going to matter because,
Mhm.
but not as much. In other words, because you're not going to be challenging every close call.
Mhm.
You, like you said earlier, it's got to be a miss.
Yeah, it's got it's got to be something where you're like, undoubtedly, no matter what, he missed it
Yeah,
big time.
because if it's close, you're
Mhm.
still framing.
Yeah.
And you're still influencing the original call. Now, if the batter wants to go ahead and take that risk, again, that's on the batter.
It is.
But the framing still becomes something that's worth something. It is.
Yeah, and
These are not automatic. I can't stress this
Yeah.
enough. People think that all of a sudden it's going to be like tennis.
it's not that at all.
Even tennis has a human component to whether the ball is in or out or on the chalk.
Yeah.
And it's not going to be like there's a light that just goes on that says ball, strike.
Right. It's still the human element of the game that can be fixed by challenging and looking at the strike zone. And yeah, I
know one.
Huh.
I know one.
Hmm.
Argument,
Okay.
possibility, check swings. Don't forget the Pirates' most heated argument all 2025 was in Philadelphia with that Bryce Harper or that check swing that was called a non-check swing, even though he went like 4 miles past the plate.
Mm-hmm.
Check swings are still the domain of either the home plate umpire or the base umpire relative to which way the batter is positioned in the box.
Mm-hmm.
You can't ABS anything with that.
Nope.
You can't.
Nope.
Because on
still
top
not
of everything
challengeable
else,
play. Yeah,
not
yeah.
only that, but the rule itself, which I was covering that game out there, had to really dig into. The rule isn't really much of a rule. Like, we talk about the check swings as if like, if you break the wrists, if the wrists break, then it's definitely a swing. It's not in the rule book.
Yeah.
If the bat breaks the plane of home plate, we say that all the time too. It's not in the rule book.
Mm-hmm.
It's just reasonably adjudged to be or something like that.
Yeah. It's
Which is nuts.
That's one of those rules where it's just like they really did leave it up to completely to the judgment of the umpire. And the fact that it's, I mean,
do you feel he offered at that pitch?
Yes.
Yeah, that's what it is.
Yeah, that's it. And while like you can look at probably one of the hardest things and probably one of the hardest penalties or whatever in all of sports to define and to officiate is pass interference in the NFL. But
goaltender interference in the NHL is giving it a run for its money.
It is. It sure is. But at least leagues like the NFL and the NHL have tried to define.
Baseball just says, do what you want with it.
Yeah, that's got to be fixed, man. That's got to be fixed.
Well, now that's going to be on an island.
Yeah.
That's going to be interesting. The Pirates have taken a 4-1 lead in the seventh inning against your Tampa Bay Rays.
The MLB box score thing is frozen
way behind.
Yeah,
we have that coming up in our live chat.
Yeah,
but the box is RVN refers to same with traveling in the NBA. What's an NBA?
That's isn't it the name of the degree you get?
Bowling.
No, that's the name of the degree you get whenever.
That's MBA.
I know. I'm getting a very, very like disapproving look from the boss over there.
but Chris gets banned.
That's right, pal.
But you two stay in.
We're all good.
Yeah, we're good.
We're all good. Phantom Joe says, DK, couldn't they put the chip in the bat? And now we're getting into chips like football too with first downs. We're going to have chips in pucks too to see if they made it all the way over the goal line.
Don't get me started on
chips are next though. You bring it up often enough,
Yeah.
somebody's going to do it.
Yep.
You know, they can make chips that are the size of atoms.
Yeah.
You know, that wouldn't affect anything. To get the check swing distance taken. Yeah, but Joe, it doesn't matter. The distance doesn't matter if part of the rule is that your wrists don't break. In other words, if you do one of these, where you this,
Mm-hmm.
they're not going to call it a strike.
No.
It doesn't matter where the bat is.
Yeah. Yeah, they can. Yeah. It's, I don't know. That's one thing they've got to figure out a way to define it, because it's, you know, the whole, like, I don't know how to define it, but you know what it is when you see it, you know, type thing. But then again, it's still up to the judgment of the umpire. And even though the vast majority of the people who were watching that game last year think that Bryce Harper offered at the pitch, that umpire didn't, so it doesn't get called, and it makes people mad. They don't care. I'm just doing my job.
Yeah, it says here in our live chat that the Pirates are winning 4-1 in the eighth. None of this is available on the MLB box score or stream or anything. So we're just going to rely on you guys here.
Yordani De Los Santos hit the home run to break the tie. It was a 2-run home run.
Okay, so that made it 3-1.
Mm-hmm.
And then apparently Rafael Flores had a hit as well.
No, Javier Rivas. It was back-to-back dingers.
Oh, it was?
Yeah.
Okay.
So 4-1 now.
It's the seventh inning of a spring game.
Yeah.
None of these guys are making the team.
Nope.
On either side.
Nope.
So we're going to be talking about a bunch of different stuff here. Let's close out today with a couple of stuff from our members of our Pirates channel. I did. Yeah. We're looking for more members, says the boss.
Mm.
And the way to become a member and to support this program so that it continues and everything is happy land is to go to dkps.net/join pirates. And that's all lowercase, the J and the P and the everything. Okay. dkps.net/join pirates. To support this program, you'll also find out that there are perks, that there are members only programs that we'll do. This is when there's stuff. Okay.
We're not quite there yet.
We are definitely not there. Mark Cunningham just became a member today. Welcome to Mark on that count. Let's try to get a couple of questions in from you guys here if we can. I saw one up here. Jared Clark wants to know if Rafael Flores will start out in AAA this year. Here's what I know, Henry Davis is going to catch in the majors.
Yeah. Agreed.
Andy Rodriguez is probably going to be the backup.
What happens to Joey Bort?
Traded.
Okay.
That's just based on what I heard down there. It doesn't mean it's going to happen.
Right.
Okay. It
Yeah.
just means that was basically the discussion points down there. And then Flores would essentially have to hit / catch his way up.
Yep.
Now, Flores, his prospect light is still on, but it's fading.
Yes, he's close.
When you're in your mid-20s,
Mm-hmm.
you need to step on the gas a little bit.
Yep.
So that's how I feel. I don't believe that Bart actually, truth be told, I talked with Bart. I don't think he believes he's going to be on the team come opening day.
Oh, well, there you go.
Yeah. So I think he's pretty much prepared for anything. So, yeah, Mark, our newest member here says April is going to be epic in Pittsburgh. I can't wait.
April's going to be.
It'll be really, really interesting. This is not going to be one of those collapses. It's just not. There's early, like season's over before it starts.
I mean, beginning of the Pirate season, especially if Connor Griffin's on the roster.
Yes.
Connor Griffin's on the roster. You have the Pirates. You got Paul Skeens. You got Connor Griffin. In hockey, the Penguins are on their way to making the playoffs. The city of Pittsburgh is hosting the NFL draft. It is, man. April is going to be.
Boss is pumped about that.
Yeah.
RVN gets our last word in today. Says, are there still plans at this point to add another free agent depth starting pitcher for one? Yes. And I reported exclusively from Bradenton when I was there last week that the Pirates are, and this was not guesswork, this came from way on high in the organization, that they are looking for a starting pitcher. It doesn't have to be a lefty, but they do want depth in the rotation. And that makes sense given what you and I have talked about a lot here, which is that they need innings.
They do.
They have too many children
Yeah, agreed.
in and around this rotation who aren't going to be able to, or wouldn't be allowed to, go anywhere near 200 innings.
You know who I'd have really liked to see them get? Jose Quintana.
Yeah, he signed.
I know he did.
Yeah.
I just.
I thought, yeah.
Yeah, I was like, I thought that was a really good.
Well, Jose was a great citizen when he was here, too, in addition to being just such a reliable pitcher.
Is Scherzer still available?
I don't know. Scherzer.
Can you imagine, though?
No, thanks. I'm not talking about him as a pitcher. I'm talking about him as a union guy.
Yeah.
Bad stuff. Guys, we're going to jump over to the hockey channel right now. We have 3 different, by the way, YouTube channels for DK Pittsburgh Sports. There's the Steelers, the Penguins, and this one, the Pirates. So each of these shows is on a different channel. So just hop on over. DK Pittsburgh Sports Penguins is where to find our hockey show. We'll be back with another one of these tomorrow.